Hi guys, welcome to the video. My name is CA Varshith Gowda and I am here to make your GST a little bit easier for the CA Inter. Okay, so welcome to the video. Welcome to our 100xCommerce platform. By now you'll be knowing about 100xCommerce platform. It is into helping most of the professional students to do better in their examinations. We are coming up with study plans. We are coming up with these sessions where on an everyday basis you'll be given mock tests, test series, and at the same time you'll be guided by the expert faculties with respect to that. Our Siri madam wants to talk with us, so give me 2 minutes. So what were we telling? 100xCommerce platform, which is giving mock test series and all other aids which will help CA students, CA Inter students and other professional examination students to ace in their examination. Along with this test series, you will have guidance from the expert faculties with respect to how to approach the exams, how to approach questions, and also if you have any doubts, that also will be solved by the expert faculties that is offered by the 100xCommerce platform. So these are all the things that we do. And at the end, if you like this effort of 100xCommerce, then please make a point to share it with your friends so they'll also ace in their professional exams and they'll pass out with flying colors. Correct? No? That is what we all want from the students. Without further ado, let's start with today's video. What is today's video? Here in this video, I'll be telling how to start your preparation for IDT paper CA Inter level, what all you should focus on, how to give this approach, and one brownie point I would like to tell. Here I am not only telling you all these tips and tricks just as a faculty, but I am telling all this to you as a student, because don't forget I was also a CA student much before. So here you have this integration of both CA student and a teacher, which is, I feel, a good combo to give you guidance. So come on guys, let's start. So first of all, I hope you know about the paper indirect tax, which tests you your knowledge of GST, that is goods and service taxes. Correct? No? Now this GST will be tested for 50 marks out of your 100 marks paper, that is your taxation. 50 marks will be asked for direct tax and 50 marks will be for indirect tax, which is GST. We'll be focusing on that 50 marks. Okay, come on. Now in this 50 marks there is further breakup. 50 marks. In 50 marks there is further breakup. 15 marks will be MCQs and other 35 marks will be descriptive. Correct? No? In that 35 marks there will be 4 questions. Question number 5, 6, 7, 8. Out of which question number 5 is compulsory, that means you have to write it, and this question number 5 will be for 15 marks. Whereas out of question number 6, 7 and 8, you can answer any 2 and each of this question will be for 10 marks. So you'll answer 2. 10 plus 10, 20. Fifth question, 15 marks. 20 plus 15, 35 marks descriptive and 15 marks will be MCQs. So that is the broad idea about how the paper pattern. Correct? No? Now, sir, first of all, let me tell you one thing. Now, when I am doing this video, what assumption I have is all you students who are watching this video have already done with the coaching of the subject, and now you want to start preparing for the subject for your upcoming exams. So, I am assuming that my audience is already done with the coaching and they want to start the preparation. In that case, what all they are supposed to remember, what all things they should know. That is what I'll be telling in this video. Now, most of you will think, sir, why should I watch this video? Now, I'm sure you're already watching this video. Now, please don't go back and all, okay? Something I wanted to tell you, okay? The thing is, not all the mistakes should be learned by doing it only. Okay, I know, most of the quotes they'll tell, ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಜೀವನ ಇರದೆ ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟೆ ಕಲಿಬೇಕು, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ ಸುಮಾರು ಕಡೆ ವಿ ವುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಹರ್ಡ್ ದಿಸ್. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ನೋ? ಓಕೆ, ಕಮರ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಡೈಲಾಗು ಕೇಳೋಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ, ಹೌದು, ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಲೀರಿ ಅಂತಲೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಲಾಜಿಕಲ್? ಇಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್ ದಟ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಲರ್ನ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಅದರ್ಸ್ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ಸ್, ನೋ, ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಡೂ ಇಟ್. Correct? Now I have already given these exams, CA Inter, CA Final and all. I have learned some things. I tell it to you, no. Follow it now only. Why do you want to learn from your mistakes by wasting 1 or 2 attempts? ನಮ್ಮ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ಗಳಿಂದ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ನ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ಗಳಿಂದ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸೀನಿಯರ್ಸ್ನ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ಗಳಿಂದ ಕಲೀರಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಡೋಂಟ್ ವೇಟ್ ಟಿಲ್ ದಿ ಎಂಡ್. ನಾವೇ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕಳಿಯೋಣ, ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಫಿಲಮ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ ಸರಿನಮ್ಮ, ಆಯಿತಾ? ಇನ್ ರಿಯಾಲಿಟಿ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಲರ್ನ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಅದರ್ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ಸ್, ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಸೇವ್ ಯುವರ್ ಓನ್ ಟೈಮ್. Correct? No? So that's why you have to watch this video. So yeah, now let's come back. How to approach this? Now once you are done with your coaching, okay, in my experience what I have realized is, before going to the examination hall, I have felt that 3 times revision is must and should. That is minimum. If you can do more, better, good, do it. If you have time and all. Of course, one thing you have to consider is, you have 6 other subjects. You have to allocate your time. 5 other subjects. You have to allocate your time in such a way. Correct? So, if you can revise for more than 3 times, do it, good enough. But minimum 3 times. Without 3 times, guys, it is very difficult to pass these examinations, especially CA Inter, because your CA examinations are very much memory oriented. Okay? And if you don't revise it for minimum 3 times, it will be difficult for you to remember and it will affect you. So, first point, what it is, revise for a minimum of 3 sali, 3 times. Okay, that is first thing. Keep that in mind. So first time you read the subject normally. Don't have this pressure of remembering everything. You first read it for understanding the subject. In my opinion, generally what we do in our classes is, we suggest students to do this first reading when the classes are going on only. When the classes are going on, along with that you read the entire subject for the first time, finish it off. Okay, but if it is not possible for whatever other reason, whenever you are reading for the first time, read it to understand the concept. Make sure you understand the concept. Okay, first reading, don't have the pressure of remembering. Okay, you read it. My suggestion is, guys, I don't believe in the concept of giving category A, category B, category C. All these recommendations are given all over the YouTube, but I don't believe, because we are going to become professionals. So we should know the entire subject completely. Because tomorrow if your client asks, sir, adondu time of supply ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೇಳಬೇಕಾ? Sorry sir, I have left time of supply in my examination. And if you tell, say suppose in your articleship only, if you tell, what will your principal do? Gunna. What will you give? Gunna only. Correct? No? You are becoming professional. If your client comes and asks, hey, what is that value of supply, sir? ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ ಸರ್, ಅದೊಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಯಾರೋ ಸಿ ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ರು, ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ. ಏಯ್, ಗುನ್ನ ಓನ್ಲಿ. ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಇನ್ ಅ ಸರ್ಜರಿ, ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಪರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಯುವರ್ ಲಿವರ್ ಇನ್ ಮಿಡಲ್, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇ, ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಅದು ಲಿವರ್ದು ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ನಮ್ಮ ನಾನು ಅಂತ. ಏಯ್, ಗಾನ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಬಿಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನಲ್ಸ್, ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದಟ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಮೈ ಒಪಿನಿಯನ್, read the whole subject fully. Okay, but what I would like to tell is, there are some subjects where your focus should be more, and there are some subjects where your focus can be a little less. That I can tell, but I suggest you to read everything. Don't leave anything, because question can be asked from anywhere. Okay, so first thing is, first time you read for the purpose of understanding, you read everything. Second, now you have to keep one more thing in mind. You have to also remember the provisions. Okay, now when you start with the second time, what you do is, you read the provisions and also solve the relevant questions, the problem questions. Okay, solve it. Okay, in the second round, solve it. In the first round also, of course, you have to see it, but your focus should be on understanding. That is what I am telling. First time also you solve it, but your focus should be on understanding. Second time you focus on remembering and solving it. That means while solving, there are some formats. If you see GST, no, actually there are no formats. Okay, it is more oriented on law. That means if they ask you, say suppose there is a question which asks you about whether what is the value of supply. In that question, what is the maximum thing you have to do? Add some things, minus some things. Correct? No. So as such, format and all is not required in GST. Very rare. Okay, only when you get that total computation problems and all, while doing set off of output tax liability minus ITC, where minimum tax is to be paid in cash, those questions and all, you'll see. There may be a little format is required, but generally format and all is not that important in my opinion in GST. Okay, what is important? The provisions. Okay, now when they ask you value of supply, you have to add some things, you have to minus some things. No, you have to tell them as per which section why I have to add, as per which section why I have to subtract. This you have to separately give it in notes. That you should ensure. Okay, separately, that notes form parts of the answer. Okay, so you have to give notes as to why you are adding, why you are subtracting, all that. Correct? No. So second time, along with your focus should be on remembering and the format. That means notes. Okay, while you are writing notes, no, you know what will happen. Most of the students, while understanding, they'll understand, but when they start writing, no, they'll create their own GST law. They understand the concept. Now when I say ITC, they understand the concept. Okay, but when they are writing for that whatever GST we have paid to our supplier, we get benefit. It is called something. Ayo, I'm not able to remember. They'll give their own nomenclature. Now your evaluator will not understand all that. I'm giving an example. Okay, so nomenclatures are very important. Second time, what you do is write it and practice. Once you practice the problems, no, immediately while solving, you solve it normally. Don't refer to the answers. Once you solve it, you compare it with the answer. Okay, the differences will be ajagajantara. When you compare the answers given in your question bank, and when you compare it with what you have written, no, it will be ajagajantara. Difference, it will be huge. You will be shocked only. So what you do is, it's okay. It happens. So see, you focus on what all mistakes you have made. Note it down. See what mistake you are making. Maybe you are not using nomenclatures. Next time you make sure that you focus on nomenclature. Like this you will do it for all the chapters. Write it and practice. Once you have written, compare it with the answers given in the suggested answers or in your question bank. Okay. Second round. Third round, again focus on remembering provisions, remembering nomenclatures, and all the common mistakes that you think you do, that you refer. And one more thing is, while you are going through your second round, no, there will be some problems which you feel is very nice, very difficult. You know, you get that intuition when you are solving. What a question. I think this they'll ask in exam. Wherever you get that intuition, or wherever you think that this problem is crazy, wow. Mark it down and make sure you go through that problems thoroughly in the third time. Go through all the problems also in the third time, but make sure you focus on these important problems in the third time. So 3 time revisions is mandatory. Okay. Now, while explaining this, I told you one thing. What was that thing? Sir, I don't believe in this category A, category B, category C. But what I have observed is there are some chapters from which questions will come and you have to focus more. So what I have done is I have created 3 categories. First is yellow category. For that you give first preference. That means make sure you pakka read these chapters thoroughly. Second preference you give to the blue mark chapters. Third preference you give to green mark chapters. Okay, guys, I suggest you to read everything only. Okay, but if at all, if you had to give preference for whatever reasons, okay, this is how you have to give the preference. Yellow marked items. Which are yellow marked items? Supply, very important chapter. It forms part of the base of your GST and of your exam also. So supply, very important. Charge, your reverse charge and stuff, 93995, all that. On that questions will be asked every time, so don't leave it. Place of supply, that is very recently added, and they are asking a fixed question on that every time, don't leave it. Exemptions, very important. They might ask you separately also, or it can come as part of computation of total GST liability also. Don't miss it. Time of supply, they are asking a question every time, or it will come as part of your total computation, or pakka they will test it in MCQ. Time of supply is very important thing. Then value of supply, very important. Input tax credit, without input tax credit there is no paper where they have not asked question from input tax credit. So input tax credit is must and should. They have asked question every time, they will pakka ask. Okay, don't leave it. So all these yellow marked items very important. Clear? Then Then we have second preference you give to blue mark chapters, that is your composition levy, your composition scheme, section 10. Correct? I have observed in most of the papers there will be question from composition. Then registration process, don't leave, second preference. E-way bill, there are questions where they'll ask about e-way bill. It is one of the important things in the chapters. That's why I have given second preference. TDS, TCS and returns. To all these blue mark chapters, you give second preference. You make sure that you read, okay? They will ask questions. But the yellow marks are must and should, they will ask. Blue, there are high chances that they will ask questions from these chapters as a second preference, okay? Third will come green ones, okay? Green ones are the chapters where you can give the last preference, your introduction, then your invoice, debit and credit notes. Okay, see, please note the difference. I am not telling don't do these chapters, okay? See, if I have put it in green, that doesn't mean it will not come. But chances are very less. Even if it comes, marking is very less, okay? So that is why I have put it in third preference, okay? Your invoice, debit and credit notes, your accounts and records, and your payment of tax. All these are small kutty chapters only, small chapters. It's better, I suggest you to read it off. But if at all you have to give the preference, give them the last preference. And also, how you can use these preferences is while doing multiple revision. For example, now 3 times revision you have finished for GST. Somewhere you have time for 4th revision. Of course, now you don't have entire time to do all the 16 chapters here. But maybe you have some time and you want to go for 4th revision. In that case, no. First finish yellow, then finish blue, then if you are able to complete green, complete. If you are not able to do it, okay, you can proceed. So in that case, in the limited time, you have given preference to those chapters which can be likely asked in the examination, correct? No. So that is why I am giving this preference. It is order of preference and not this category A, B, C and all, okay? It's order of preference in my opinion, okay? But my suggestion is always to read everything. Clear? So that is one thing, guys. And formats, as I said, there is no such formats requirement, but you write that notes to the questions, no? That is very important, okay? That notes to questions, because that notes form parts of the answers, and most of our students, they understand everything, they remember everything, but nomenclature they'll miss out, okay? So we have this thing that we'll do in our class where to remember the nomenclatures, okay? Timely, on a regular interval, we play Pictionary with GST, okay? So one of the student comes, he draws the one of the terminology that is given by me, he tries to draw it, and the other students will guess. So in this activity, they ensure that they are remembering the terminology also. That is one small thing that we do here, to make sure that you are remembering the terminologies also. You also find some innovative way like that and ensure and cheat your brain to remember all this stuff, okay? Guys, our brain is a crazy guy, okay? If you imagine, if you just think about it, you remember all the movies which you have watched, full stories and all, villains, appa's name and all you know. But what is important? GST, that will not remember. So your brain has the capacity to remember. The only thing is, we will not give that much attention. Cheat your brain, somehow you know it. Somehow you try to learn, okay? So that's about it, guys. So just to summarize what I have told till now, don't forget about 3 times revision, okay? Please make sure that you, by the end of the exam, by the time you give the exam, you have revised. It is not applicable for only GST, for all other subjects. Make sure you revise for 3 times minimum. Then make sure you solve the problems, focus on notes, write it and then compare it with your answers, okay? Done? And your 50 marks will be easy to score, because GST is really a very simple and beautiful subject. It is easy to score. Don't ignore it, is what is my opinion, okay? So, and also whatever assignments is given by 100xCommerce, make sure you solve these assignments timely, and wherever you have doubts, try to approach the faculty. Of course, we will be definitely there to answer whatever doubts you have, okay? Whatever doubts you have, we'll definitely solve it. Solve all the assignments timely, don't be lazy, okay? Whenever you have, you are lacking motivation, think about that day you become CA and get up again and continue your preparation. One small thing if I want to add is, see, in this preparation, no, for your exam, once your coaching is done, you're supposed to read for 10-12 hours, okay, because the content is huge. And sometimes it is difficult to do that, I understand. Now I'll not simply tell and go, hey, you have to read for 12 hours. That is the minimum requirement. Anta nan helibuttu I can go. I can simply and helibuttu hogbodu. But I understand how difficult it is to sit for 12 hours. Okay, it's not. ಒಂದು ಅರ್ಧ ಗಂಟೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಗಮನ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆ ಕಡೆ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಆಹಾ ಆ ಪಿಕ್ಚರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆಯೋ, ಏನು ಟ್ವಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಟರ್ನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆಯೋ, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಈಸಿ. ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ 12 ಅವರ್ ಕುತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅಂದಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಈಸಿ. ಬಟ್ ಐ ಟೆಲ್ ಯು ವಾಟ್ ವರ್ಕ್ಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಟು ಮೀ. ಓಕೆ, I had this friend, he's also a chartered accountant. I don't know how this guy had the ability to sit for hours. And ನಮ್ಮ ಲೈಫಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಥರದವ್ರು ಒಬ್ರು ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಹವರ್ಸ್ ಗಟ್ಟಲೆ ಕುತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಅವ್ರು ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ನಾನು ಅವನ ಜೊತೆ ಸೇರ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ. ಓಕೆ, ವಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಟುಗೆದರ್ ಇನ್ ಅ ಸೇಮ್ ಲೈಬ್ರರಿ. ಸೊ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್ he used to come at 6 o'clock only. But for me it is very difficult to wake up in the early morning. I used to come at 10 o'clock. And I used to go to him. I used to ask, hey, ಯಾವಾಗ ಬಂದಪ್ಪ, when did you come? He used to tell, I came at 6 o'clock only. Then that guilt starts hitting you and you go and start reading next level. But ಏನೇ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಆದರೂ ಒಂದು 2 ಅವರ್, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ನಾಯಿ ಬಾಲ ಡೊಂಕೆ, ಗಮನ ಆ ಕಡೆ ಈ ಕಡೆ. ಒಂದು ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋಣ ಅಂತ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಎದ್ದೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೆ. ದ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ ಐ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಗೆಟ್ ಅಪ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಮೈ ಸೀಟ್, ಐ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಸೀಮ್ ದಟ್ ಗೈ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿಂಗ್. ಐ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಸಿಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ. ಸೊ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್ ಐ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಎಂಡ್ ಅಪ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಸೇಮ್ ಅವರ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, so try this, it works. Make sure that your gang is correct. Okay, so ಅದೇನೋ ಅಂತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಗ್ಯಾಂಗ್ ಜೊತೆ ನೀವು ಎಲ್ಗೋ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಸೇರ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀರ. So this worked for me. For those and all to whom it is not possible to read for more hours, try this thing, it will work. Okay, but know one thing, ನೀವು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಅಚೀವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋ, I don't know how you achieve reading for 13-14 hours or 10-12 hours, whatever, it is subjective, but you have to achieve it. Without 3 times revision, I'm telling you the hard truth, no point in writing the exam. It is a mere mock test aste. It is the examination which requires complete conceptual clarity and you should know what you are applying. So that requires 3 times revision. Without 3 times revision, there's no point in writing. I'm telling it, I've told this in this video for like 5-10 times. Imagine how important point this might be. Don't forget, I was also a student. Okay, so without 3 times revision, don't even think of passing. This I'm telling as a CA student only. With that said, I hope this video will be helpful for your preparation that you start for IDT, and all the best for your study journey. And I'm pakka sure that your study journey with 100xCommerce will be much more, your preparation will be much more fruitful, your preparation will be much more better, and pakka you will ace your exams with flying colors. All the best for your preparations, and see you in the next videos for your further guidance with respect to GST subject. Bye guys, all the best, see you in the next one.